You guys say you get to end zone, so.
Yeah, we were just getting chased by this 3-stack for quite a while.
Nice. Just back up. Yeah.
The Ogar plays there just to stop them pushing in through.
Yeah, that was completely fine. You kind of just have to buy space, especially if you play like some high ground or something like that, which you guys appear to do here. You guys can.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta just keep moving.
People on me.
Again, I think they're chasing us here as well, and they like through the door down.
They're so thirsty for you guys.
They stayed back a caustic, I think. Yeah, they didn't push out much further than that.
Q this, please.
I'm trying now. It's just when we come back. They bailed over the wall.
I love watching control POVs.
Sometimes it's really funny.
One of them's down. 2 are down. Oh, one's still down.
Yeah, to be fair, that's why I think there's a couple of
There's still people on our
links I sent, because yeah, when it's not like the full game with stuff going on.
Go now.
Just in case you want to focus on micro, I'm not really gonna worry about your rotations or stuff like that. I'm more so just want to watch so I get an idea. I'll probably go back over some stuff after I, see the whole thing, take some notes.
Yeah.
Trying to cue him.
You should learn how to use the fuck out of recoil smoothing again.
He's down. He died.
Do you know what recoil smoothing is?
Recall what, sorry?
Smoothing.
Yeah, I know it, but yeah, I don't think I use it enough.
Yeah, you should abuse the hell out of it as a controller player. It's built for your input. Like you tap fire the 301. If you watch like really good controller players, for example, a good example would be Koiful or like Guild. Watch how they spray at long distances and watch how they move. That's my best recommendation for you. Like here, there's a really good example.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to smoke the other team off.
That's fine.
You guys are actually playing this pretty well. You guys are showing presence. You guys are actually, you guys aren't just giving up because you aren't just doing what I see majority of people do and just like ratting, right? You guys are just actually poking, actually showing presence.
Yeah, we don't tend to rat that much. I think we put ourselves in situations more than we need to, sometimes.
My perfect students. It's important to understand here. This position here, this is not your job. If we look back at the overall triangle, right? The reason these people play these positions up here is usually because they have mobility. Obviously, you can play a position like this, but you need some sort of positioning and like high ground, fences, walls, thresholds, anything like that, right? You need something that lets you walk back here, right? This is a really dangerous peak here, right? Mostly because of the fact that obviously you're trying to punish this team, right? But you're exposing yourself to all the other teams in the ring. The entire ring can see you here, right? It's not your job to get greedy like this. If you're gonna get greedy like this, you need to be like, hey, can you smoke me? Hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Right? But even then, Raj can totally just come over and just do it himself, and then if he gets shot, he can just smoke, run back here, be fine, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't see you do this, to be fair. I would have screamed at you if I noticed it.
Yeah, it's not really your job to just notice that. You're probably I'm pretty positive you're worrying about something else or watching a different angle. It's not really your job to be omniscient. It's more so either Dan's job to tell you that he wants to do this, or Dan's job to just not do this, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Like I know you want to kill that team. I totally understand. It's not a bad thing to kill that team, but you also have no shield meds. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was worse than I thought it was as a peak.
Okay, fair.
Running over to over here.
We got the swaps in.
Yeah, we knew they wiped, so we had to get something because we went out with syringes and shields.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's a swap here.
Probably dead. We're gonna rotate back if we can, okay?
And we want to go back now over there. And Gaz doesn't have any smokes.
It's really hard to do that. You probably aren't gonna be able to do that, to be honest with you. If you do, it'd be kind of a miracle.
Yeah.
Waiting to see.
Oh my goodness, this team is balls.
Yeah, I don't know how we managed that. I had 10 seconds left on the smoke, so we just had to do something, and it somehow worked. We should have won this game. I'm really disappointed we didn't, but it is what it is. We were in Giro, so.
Get to me.
Trying. Oh, fuck.
Oh, Dan's dead.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. You're not dead.
Miles.
You're not dead. Never mind. You're fine. Smile.
Oh no.
Dead soon.
On 3.
I didn't realise you got shot from behind there as you were crossing, to be fair. It's good to see Opie be here.
Nice
Oh,
try.
that was a shame.
And that was the solo, I think, then that drew over the wall.
Yeah. As a team here, your positioning isn't really good. I'll be honest with you. As like individually, your guys' positioning is fine here. There's not really a space to play a triangle. You guys are gonna have to play where you can, right?
Yeah.
But like where you guys go, your guys' decision here is to go over here is really bad. Mostly because of the fact let's say let's go step by step, right? You're here. You need to cross here for loot. That is 100% a-okay. You need loot. You're just gonna die if you play there. You have no bats, nothing. You're already cracked. It's fine. Like you use bang ult smokes to cross. That's completely fine, right? But now you're here. You have loot. Now, you wanna cross back because of playable space, right? It's not playable where you are, right? Now, when you cross, you're probably gonna take damage, and you know that. You're gonna go, yeah, I don't have smokes. We just have to run back here. We're probably gonna take damage. Now, when you get here, now what do? Right? You just kind of walk out in the open and then die again, right? It's just like you just kind of repeat the same thing again, and then again, and then again, and then again. Here, the important thing, especially when you're in IGL, the goal is not to survive. The goal is to thrive. The goal is to win the game, not just kind of stall. A lot of people struggle in a lot of aspects because they will either go too hard for KP and they'll drop like 12 kills but 4th place, and then I'll get 1st place with like 6 kills and I'll get way more points. I'm like, that's so stupid. I'm like, I won the game. What do you mean? I won the game, right? That's the whole point. I won the game. But here, for example, your goal should still be to win the game. You should be doing what you were doing before, where you're back here. Actually, I'd say like earlier here. Let's say earlier here, where you're actively showing presence, contesting space, trying to shoot teams. But you should be doing the same thing here, so you guys can walk up, right? If they're playing the building, you guys have all of this space here. You guys have all of this here, right?
Yeah.
You guys should just walk up here and then take all of the space that's free. You shouldn't just run back to the same spot you were, right?
I think I made that call because I knew it was safe there, rather than I didn't know it was safe in that playable area in front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair, but you should also fight for it anyway, because where are you gonna play now after that, right? A really important thing for endgame zones is that you want to make sure that you control as much of this circle as possible. If you literally control, or you either control the most of it or the best part of it, right? Because this team in the building only really controls this spot, right? Like, sure, they can shoot you over here, but if you manage to be able to get to these boxes over here, you end up like, if you're here, you control all of this space, right? You control everything here. You know there's no one behind you. You know there's gonna be nobody on your side. The only place people can be would be here, or like in the building, or somewhere like over past this wall, right? Which you're not worried about. You can just throw that for free, right? Well, maybe a lot less for free because you're a duo, but still, right?
Yeah.
Still the same idea. This is it's always important to make sure that we're trying to win by the largest margin possible. We're not trying to just skid by games and just be like, oh, we barely won. Like, you want to win by like using everything you have, right? And so you want as many kills as you can get. You want basically as much of anything as you can get. You should always try and be, I wouldn't say greedy, because greedy implies that you're, most people associate greed with like throwing, right? Just be like, oh, it's too greedy. But like greed is good. Don't quote me on that. But greed is good in context of space control, things like that. You should typically try to fight for things more often than just give things up. The only time you should give things up is when this team is chasing you here. The proper way to deal with teams doing this, by the way, is if teams are just gonna fucking ape you over and over again, right? Like for example, I talked about this with space control, with how really good teams will typically beat like lesser skilled teams just because of the skill difference between them. And most people were like, I don't know how to win that fight. Like we didn't even get the chance to do anything, right? And it's not because of it's not because of aim. Aim has an influence on them. It's not because of aim. It's not because of movement. It's all about presence and actually being able to shoot a team, right? So for example, let's talk about, I use this example a lot. You've probably seen me use this example before. I don't know if it's made it to the YouTube channel, but you guys know the buildings on World's Edge in Overlook. They are the 2-story buildings with the stairs right here. and then there's
Yeah.
the porta potty right here, right?
Yeah.
And there's the window, and then there's the balcony, and then there's the door here. It's important that I illustrate all of this. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat, by the way.
That's
He wants out of the room, and he's not allowed out right now. You're probably just gonna hear meow, meow in the background. But this building, you guys are familiar with this, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever thought about being an artist?
Hmm?
Have you ever thought about becoming an artist?
Maybe not. I don't know. Every time I try to like explain like aiming to people, I always draw a hand, and my hands are always like, yeah. Look, no, definitely not.
I couldn't. I would do a much worse job than that.
The number one mistake I'll see most casual players make, especially in these fights, is let's just use the example of team inside. I'm sure you've seen this before. I don't know how much like pro play you guys watch, or how much like ranked you guys watch, or whatever. But typically,
I've got an example in my head of what you're about to go through. I think.
Yeah, caustic players will go on the inside and be like, gas trap deployed, and then they'll just sit in the building. They'll be like, hey guys, I'm holding the building like ranked. I'm like my favorite streamer. I'm ratting, right? I mean, if you let it go in the ALGS Twitch chat, you'll be like, ALGS, you'll see people unironically in Twitch chat go, this is boring. It's just ratting. And I'm like, it is not ratting. You are no. You don't understand, right?
Yeah.
Right. But they'll gas trap all the doors. And then pro team walks up and goes, hey, look, there's a team in here. Let's kill them, right? Because, it's like they're bad, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
They walk up, and they get on each door, and then they kick down the doors, and then the gas traps go, poof, and then the caustic throws more traps down, and then eventually he runs out of traps, so he rips his ult, and he gas nades inside, and then eventually the gas nade goes off, and by that point, this door is broken. There's a guy down here shooting up the stairs here. There's a guy right here on the balcony. This is probably the entry fragger playing a really aggressive position here, shooting down on the inside here. There's a guy who's climbed in the window here, throwing nades inside, and this team on the inside just dies. They just die, right? So what does the team on the inside do to win this situation? Now, the best solution would be to just not get in this position, right? But let's say you are forced in this position by a team who uses like Bangle plus like fuse cues, right? Because you will be forced in this position eventually, where you're just trapped inside a building. How do you win this fight inside the building? Do you guys know?
I mean, no, I don't know.
No, not really.
Okay, this
I
is
don't think that you were forced into it. No.
this is
What about isolation?
Huh?
Other than trying to isolate the fight as much as you can, but no.
Yeah, kinda. So I'm gonna refer what this team on the outside is doing. By taking angles, squeezing the team inside, pressuring them into a certain small area, right? This is called sieging. This is a keyword I like to use and I like to call it sieging because it is literally identical to medieval fantasy sieging. Trebuchets on castle walls, throwing shit in, right? Getting the county inside to get them to to surrender by forcing them into a small area, right? It's the exact same thing. So what does the lord of the castle go? They don't go, my lord, they're sieging us, and he goes, okay. He doesn't do that. He goes, oh my god, they're sieging us. We need to, be able to hold our ground, and then once we do, we launch a counter siege, right? He doesn't just let the people outside just siege them, right? He launches a counter siege eventually. He sends his own army out to, either... Hang on, the cat is trying to get out of my room, and it's not letting me do that. 1 second. Hey! Stop.
So in my head at the moment, Dan, I'm thinking about that game that we played on World's Edge, where we were Catalyst, Fuse, and what was Bang? Remember it the other night, me and Willow?
No.
We were in the house upstairs in Overlook, and we were just getting Fuse queued constantly by a team.
Okay, I'm back.
And then
Sorry about
was
that.
the conversation. No, that's okay.
Oh, so the game has to be at on that height as well.
No, so we were in one of these exact buildings, basically playing upstairs as you're going through here, wraithcrw, and we were Fuse, Bang, and Cat, I think. So obviously we were cat-walled up with goo, gooed the doors and everything.
Does the exact same thing happen to you?
We were just getting Fuse queued,
Yep.
and then we ended up getting wiped, and then that was when we were like, okay, we should play Watson because it's going to help us to survive a bit better, and just from that again.
Conceptually, it matters in certain. It's difficult because obviously Watson does help against knuckle clusters, but also, typically the goal of Fuse is not to get the goal of Fuse is more so to break doors down and be able to start the siege and maintain the siege. Because if you have the gen down, well, it just gets broken by a team that's sieging you, right? It's better suited for things like Bang ults and Horizon ults, where people are trying to full send, right? It helps very little in the actual poking phase, unless we're talking about like playing zone, right? So, but counter sieging, it's the important thing. If there's a team that is sieging you, you have to launch a counter siege. You can't just sit there and go, okay, we're dead. You have to launch a counter siege on somebody, right? A typical counter siege in this situation would be 2 people walk out here and challenge this guy and fight this guy, or they go down, or they go downstairs, or they do something. It doesn't matter what it is. The aggressor in Apex is typically favored because of inherently time to kill. Obviously, when you factor in things like human error, positioning, safeguards, stuff like that, it changes a bit, right? But we're talking in a straight one-on-one situation. We be very reductionist and say, hey, if we're both cheating and I shoot you first, who wins, right? Me, because I kill you, right? You can't do anything about it. Even if you hit every bullet, because I'm gonna hit every bullet, you die, right? The same thing is true and can be influenced in several ways, right? So, for example, this ranked season has had a lot of cheaters, and so when I'm fighting cheaters, I never take a 1v1 ever. My goal is we triple swing the cheater, because the cheater might kill me, right? But he's gonna die because there's 3 of us. We all shoot him, right? There's nothing that guy can do. He can't cheat harder than that, right?
Yeah.
So the same logic is important in counter siege as well. There was another example I want to provide is one that I actually had. There's these buildings on Olympus and Solar Array that look like this. There's a little high ground here, and then there's 2 doors, one here and then one further back here, and there's a door downstairs here, and there's a staircase right here. And then over here, there's 2 doors right here, and then another door back here. Right? So we were getting sieged by the outside, right? We were all up here because this is the strongest point to hold, because there's only a few ways you can get shot from, right? We were holding up here, and there was a guy on this door peeking on the inside. And again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors, right? And we're playing Catalyst, so we have these 2 doors reinforced, and that's it. But there's one guy down here. There's one guy trying to peek us from like here. There's another guy trying to peek us on the other side, right? So what do I do here as the IGL? I literally just said, okay, just triple swing out this door. The guy right here had no clue what we were doing. We literally triple swung out this door, and he saw me and was like, oh, I'm going to chow you. You're swinging me. There was the Avengers on him. He died. That guy blew up immediately. And then his teammates were like, oh, we're coming to help. And guess what? We just collapsed and killed them, right? Yeah. These are the components that are important for a proper counter siege, right? Because you have to show presence. You have to fight. You have to fight for space a lot of the time. Now, how do you beat a team that does this? Well, this is the more difficult because you guys are a duo. But typically, if you can afford to give up space, right? Are you guys familiar with the concept of thresholds?
Yeah. I watched a video the other day on this,
Yeah.
We have another video where I mentioned this threshold thing actually earlier today.
The one called Bad Building Push.
Okay. So yeah, you both are familiar, Dan and Raja?
Yeah. Oh, I am. I don't know about you, Dan. I don't know if you knew what I meant when I said this.
I understood after you explained it, but I didn't know what it was before you said so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know right now. I've played way too much no-fill. No-fill trios. I've done a lot of no-fill trios. I've dropped 20 bombs. I've dropped like 5Ks, whatever, right? Yeah. I've fought a lot. And the most important thing, your number one threat in no-fill is 3 stack streamers, right? 3 stack streamers going at you. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna die. I'm like, right? How do you beat those players, right? And that's kind of the exact same thing you guys are fighting here, right? Whether it be a pro team or a really stupid team, or I mean, hey, both maybe. But how do you beat teams like this that do this to you? Well, when people are triple aping you, you have to go from one spot to another. You have to give up space and punish them for trying to just ape you, right? So, for example, if I have a door here, I play this door, I shoot them until I realize that they're aping me, and I go, oh shit, and I backpedal to, some other door, some wall, some cover, something like that, and then shoot them again at the same point. At this point, it is unfortunate to say you do just have to win all of your trades, right? You can't really afford to lose a trade. If you lose a trade, you kind of have to go back to another threshold, heal, and then maybe go back to another one, but sometimes you can't really do that. It kind of depends. You kind of just have to win all of your trades. But assuming you do so, eventually, by like the second or third one, that's not the second one, but by the second or third one, you're either gonna have one cracked or you're gonna have one knocked, even because they're being really ignorant, and you're straight up gonna, like, if that guy's cracked, they're either all three gonna stop and go, okay, heal, or
Yeah.
two of them are gonna push you, and then boom, you now have a 1v2, which is way easier to solve and start punishing again, right? If that happens again, you crack this guy. Now this guy's waiting. This guy's playing catch up. This guy's pushing you solo. You can literally just take a 1v1 on that guy, right? Maybe thirst him, maybe not, and then again repeat back. And sometimes depending on building layouts, for example, streamer building was really good because it had this layout, right? You could literally go from door to door to door to door to door to the zip line and blah blah blah, right? And then you could literally loop it over and over again, right? The building format let you just go on the zip line, go around, climb, go around, climb, go around, slide, roll out, and then like do the same thing again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
So here, right? You should look to actively punish them a little bit more. You guys have a general idea of what you should be doing, but I would say here you should definitely look to punish them more as you actually are fighting them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we were getting to the thresholds, but we weren't actually then using the threshold to
Exactly.
deal damage.
Exactly.
But we only did like one. Yeah, there was like a few missed opportunities.
Exactly.
Few missed
Yeah.
threshold.
You guys are doing the right thing. We can just optimize it more, right?